I do remember my my daughter, my youngest daughter, she was in elementary school. She was
Hmm.
learning some kind of problem or whatever. And so because we were always singing, she started singing, Sheila has 6 cubes, but one got lost. Sheila
Oh,
has so that was like, the she was singing the problem. So we would sing everything. And so yeah, so from that, I would always like write little jingles. So I decided to write a jingle about The Voice and the
hmm.
coaches on The Voice at the
Okay.
time, which was, the original crew, Christina, Blake,
Hmm.
CeeLo, and Adam. And I wasn't sure that I wanted to risk
Hmm.
going through the process.
Okay.
Being It's a very vulnerable place
Hmm.
to be on stage in front of millions of viewers, subject to criticism, even the criticism of
True.
the coaches on the stage.
Hmm.
Will I make it through the process? Will they like me? How far will I go? All the questions. So I felt very strongly that God was leading me through this. This one lady, I wasn't going to her. I was like walking past her, but I locked eyes. So I smiled and said hello. And she was like, "Hey, I know you." I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "You're on The Voice." And
oh.
she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "I'm at church. Like, this is my church." And she's like, she was visiting from Wisconsin, visiting her daughter. And they're like, I'm a little bit starstruck. I'm like, you now we know each other. Come on.
Sweet.
So I grew up in church, and I both of my parents sing. So I started singing as early as I can remember. I remember them saying, I think I was about 4 years old, and in the backseat of a car, um, they had the radio going, and
Hmm.
they heard me singing, like really singing with whatever was playing. And so they kind of turned the radio down to say, like, wow, is she really singing? Like, she sounds pretty
Yeah.
good for a kid. And so I just remember always singing, like, music being like a really good friend, something that's always with me. And the beauty of growing up in church was that you had a platform very, very early. The church that I grew up in, and many of the churches that I'm accustomed to, really helped to cultivate whatever your gifting was. And for me, it was singing. And so once they knew that I could sing, they gave me a mic and gave me applause and just so much love and support. So yeah, I've been singing ever
And that's
since.
where the star was born, I would say. That's really lovely. Like 4 is very young to
Yeah.
realize that you have such an incredible talent and to finally reach out to this level where you are now a singer with so much acclamation, I should say, after you made your appearance at The Voice. So, Tanika, how did you decide to audition for The Voice? And why this particular season? Did you try before as well?
Yeah, so I actually, when the show first started,
Mm.
like a lot of people, I was intrigued. I thought this was great. I love the opportunity that singers got to be coached by these stars, and you can see them grow. You watch their journey on the show, and so immediately I thought, wow, this would be wonderful. I would love to do something like this. And so um, back then, I forget, it was over a decade ago, they would have these open casting calls. So
Mm.
I live in San Diego, California, but I'm born and raised in LA, and it's
Mm.
just 2 hours away. So um, I went up to LA for an open casting call at the
Mm.
convention center. There were thousands of people waiting in line all day to get their like 30 seconds
Mm.
in, right? And so I did that. Um, and nothing happened. It was just like kind of like cattle haul. Like they had like four people at a time. Like, okay, you go, you go, you go, you go,
Mm.
like 30 seconds. And they're like, okay, great, thank you, and move on. And I was like, well, what was that? So it didn't really, it was something that I thought was kind of unattainable. That process didn't quite seem real to me. And I mean, obviously it worked for some, right? But
Mm.
it didn't work for me at that point. At the same time though, I have 4 kids, I'm
Oh.
married, So my kids were younger. We were
Hmm.
in a phase of life, a season of life where I don't think it would have been a good idea anyway.
Hmm.
Looking back now to see how much time and effort you have to put into the
Hmm.
process, it wasn't something that would have been suitable for my life at the time.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm a gospel singer, a Christian singer.
Hmm.
And so I also had this dream of singing this song, I Can Only
Hmm.
Imagine,
True.
on this stage. And I didn't know if that was even possible either because people weren't singing gospel
Hmm.
songs or Christian music
Hmm.
on those stages at the
Hmm.
time. So it just was something that was in my heart, and I kind of let it go and buried it and said, okay, well, maybe this is not for me.
Hmm.
Um, so fast forward to the present where well, let me just rewind.
Hmm.
I
Sure.
I did I did write this little jingle. I like writing jingles.
That's lovely.
So I've written quite a few jingles for friends and for different
Does
reasons.
being a mother give you inspiration for this, like singing jingles to your young kids on Christmas and all those events?
I love singing with my kids. They don't love singing as much as I do. I have one that does. And so yeah, we love just like singing just making up little songs in the moment, whatever inspires you if we're out walking or on a hike or doing something fun. I do remember my daughter, my youngest daughter, she was learning, um, she was she was in elementary school, she was
Hmm.
learning some kind of problem or whatever. And so because we were always singing, she started singing, Sheila has 6 cubes, but one got lost. Sheila
Oh,
has So that was like, the she was singing the problem. So we would sing everything. And so yeah, so from that, I would always like write little jingles. So I decided to write a jingle about The Voice and the
hmm.
coaches on The Voice at the
Okay.
time, which was, the original crew, Christina, Blake,
Hmm.
CeeLo, and Adam. And so I posted that on YouTube. Nobody saw it. It didn't go anywhere, but it was just kind of my nod to this
It's a first
process.
try at a jingle and
Yeah,
to put your
right.
talent out there for people.
Yeah, yeah. And so anyway, fast forward to where I am now. I do a lot of singing
Hmm.
with friends and just all over the place. I've been blessed to travel the world. I have not
Hmm.
been to India yet. That would be wonderful. Um,
Lovely.
but so I've been blessed to travel the world and sing. And so a friend of mine put
Hmm.
a video on Instagram, and it wasn't one of my favorites, but for whatever reason, it got the attention of quite a few folks, as well as a talent agent.
That's
And so that agent reached out and asked if I
hmm.
would be willing to audition for The Voice.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I'll tell you though, Isha, I had mixed emotions. I wasn't as excited
Hmm.
as I probably think I would have been
Hmm.
much earlier on, because I was at a point in life where life is
You
good.
had feminine responsibilities as a mother. That truly
Yeah,
should be understood. Yes.
life is good as it is. Music is going well, family is great, everybody's in a good position, a good place, and I wasn't sure that I wanted to risk
Hmm.
going through the process.
Okay.
Um, being It's a very vulnerable place
Hmm.
to be on stage in front of millions of viewers, subject to criticism, even the criticism of
True.
the coaches on the stage.
Hmm.
Will I make it through the process? Will they like me? How far will I go? All the questions. And so I really prayed. I really prayed about this. And I wanted to know whether or not this was a gift from God for me,
Hmm.
or was this just something to do? I didn't want to just do it just to do it.
Hmm.
I wanted to know that I was that I would be at the right place
Hmm.
at the right time. I wanted to be in the right place at the right time, where I'm supposed to be. So I felt very strongly that God was leading me through this. But it still took me a while. I was very tentative. The he gave me the agent gave me a few months to respond. There was a certain date, a deadline that I had, and I waited to the last day. I waited until the last day to appropriately respond and submit all of my things. Um, and so I felt God saying like it's not just about the stage. I'm very much a people person. I have my master's in marriage and family therapy. Um, I'm a marriage and family pastor along with my husband at our
Hmm.
church. We have spent our lives serving others. And so for me, it wasn't just about the music on the stage, but it was about the people behind the scenes and the contestants and all of those things. And so I felt like God was calling me to those people. Um, and um, and so it's been a really beautiful journey it's been a roller coaster if you've seen
That's
it.
word. Yes, that's the good word to describe it.
Yes, it's been a roller coaster of emotions, but it's been great. It really has been.
And your family has been supportive all throughout your decision to participate, to be there
Yes,
away from your children for so many weeks and to perform in front of so many
yes.
people.
Well, the beautiful thing is, my children are all adults. So,
Ooh.
my husband and I have an empty nest, so this was a perfect time for us to venture out.
Hmm.
Um, if you watch the blind audition, you'll see my husband and my youngest daughter on the side cheering me on.
Cheering for
And
you.
yes, and my other kids they've been cheering me on from afar. Um, and yeah, I've been surrounded by so much love and support from my community here in San Diego and all over Southern California and abroad. So it's been great.
You just mentioned about how much support you have been getting in your community out there. So, how did the interaction change, like with people in real life and on Instagram after your stint at the Voice? So, it must have been very different now.
You know, I've been talking to people about this because they want to know, like, hey, do people
Hmm.
recognize you? And I'm like, I don't really think so. Like, I don't have people like coming up to me. But then I started to realize, like, people would kind of like they'd watch me and they try to put, make a connection. Like, I think I know that girl, right? And it was funny. This past Sunday, I was at church and like I said, I'm very much a people person. So I'm like greeting people and smiling and talking to folks. And this one lady, I wasn't going to her. I was like walking past her, but I locked eyes. So I smiled and said hello. And she was like, "Hey, I know you." I was
Oh,
like, "Oh, okay." And she was like, "You're on The Voice." And
oh,
she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" And I was like, "I'm at church. Like, this is my church." And she's like, she was visiting from Wisconsin, visiting her daughter, and just was like she's just like, "I'm so sorry, I'm really awestruck. I mean, starstruck." So a lot of people have been saying that. It's funny because the people that I work with
hmm.
regularly, in meetings and whatnot, all of a sudden they're like, I'm a little bit starstruck. I'm like, you now we know each other. Come on.
Sweet. You're suddenly a celebrity to all the people you have known for so long.
Right. Right, right. So that's
That's,
that's been really fun and interesting. So a lot of support from people that I work with. I work in healthcare.
hmm.
Um, and again, just a lot of people stuff. But yeah, there's a conference that I sing at every year, and I
Oh,
went I
that's
went to this
beautiful.
conference, and it was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So that's quite a distance from
Hmm.
California, and it rotates. So this year it was in Minneapolis, and there was this
Hmm.
whole new group of people, and they were like just kind of waiting in a
Hmm.
crowd, like we're waiting on you to come off stage so we can talk to you. Like, can we take pictures? So lots of pictures, lots of conversations. Everybody wants to know about the process. They want to know how's Adam,
Hmm.
who's your favorite coach,
Oh, yeah.
um, all those questions. So. it's been a lot of fun to really bring joy to people, like people who know me, especially. Like it's been you can tell they've had fun watching. They've had fun talking to me about it. It's been a lot of joy, a lot of joy with people around me.
That's lovely. That's really lovely. So, what was your favorite performance that you like? My personal favorite was when you sang I Can Only Imagine. That was beautiful. The high notes. I'm not really aware of music a lot, but the high notes you took during that song was very beautiful, I have to say. So, what was your personal favorite performance on the show?
I would have to say it's actually hard to pick
I know
because
it must be
they were all so much
so
fun.
beautiful, all of
I
them.
loved singing with Connor on my
Hmm.
battle performance.
Yeah, your
I love
battle performance
that.
was very good, honestly. It was
Thank
very
you.
interesting to listen to both of you singing so beautifully.
Yeah, thank you. And I love singing with other people. So
Hmm.
so that was a lot of fun. Um Best of My Love
Hmm.
was great. That was a little more, just kind of upbeat and the words and everything. I enjoyed that. But I do have to say I Can Only Imagine
Hmm.
would be my favorite. um, because that's what I came for. I That's the song that I had in my head over a decade ago when I wanted to sing on this stage. And so, for many reasons, to see my journey on The Voice culminate to that song, to be able to actually um, actually sing it in real life and work out how I'm going to execute it. Um, and I loved getting dressed up.
Oh
I
yeah,
love.
your outfits were so lovely, especially the red gown dress that you wore. That was so,
Thank
that's the
you.
red carpet, I would say, like dress
Yeah.
that should be worn there. That was so beautiful there on it.
Yeah, so that adds to it. That adds to the element of performance, being able to do my hair in different ways, and dress, really dress up and take advantage of wardrobe and hair and makeup and all of that. So that was a lot of fun.
That's really lovely. So now that you're here, could you just let us know what were the emotions that you were reading through when you realized that your journey with the voice has come to an end for a while? So what did you really feel after your elimination?
You know, I felt like from the very beginning that I Can Only Imagine was the pinnacle. For me, I wasn't necessarily in the process to win the
Hmm.
show. I went into this process and on the show to sing that song. And I even told my knockout partner, who I love, Dan,
Hmm.
I was like, I don't know. I'm not saying you're going home, Dan. I just know I'm not going home. I
Oh,
don't I
yeah,
was like, I know I can't go home until I sing this song. I can only
that's
imagine. And I
lovely.
told him, and a few others, just the story of how I knew that and why I
Hmm.
felt that so deeply. And so being able to sing that for my playoff performance, I felt very accomplished. Um, and I was okay to go home. It, I felt like I knew who Kelsey was gonna pick to move forward,
Hmm.
and I didn't think it was me. So I'd already resolved that in my head, and I was okay with that.
So you were content. Like you came there to sing this one song that's so like close to your soul, so close to your heart. And when you did it with your best potential, you just didn't really bother much about what the results were supposed to be. You were just happy.
Yeah. I was very happy with that. Of course, as you go on and you see, you do see the potential. You see like, oh wow, I could, because with every step, it's like I'm getting closer and closer
Hmm.
to the top, getting closer and closer to the win. Then you see, I think even more than before, you realize it's a real possibility. So,
Hmm.
of course, there's a part of me that's like, wow, it would be great to go forward because you've enjoyed this process. I've enjoyed
Hmm.
the people. I've enjoyed being coached. I've enjoyed, um, you know. just all the
Having so many
musicality.
fans support you throughout the
Yeah,
show.
it's been a great journey. So of course to see it continue would have been wonderful. But at the same time, I was very content. That would have been beyond my wildest. I mean, like that would have been crazy.
That's-
Because to even get where I was
Hmm.
like, wow, this is phenomenal. So yeah, but I was very content with where I was and how things ended. And it's been so great. Like I can't be mad at how it all worked out. I mean, it's been wonderful. It's been beautiful.
You just have beautiful and good memories from your journey in The Voice.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Tanika, what next for you as a musical artist now? What are your new performances? Are you writing some more songs? How do you like curve your career now as a musician, now that you have had so much acclaim?
Yeah, so I released a new single just about a month ago. It's called Don't Be Afraid. Um please go check that out on all streaming
Definitely.
platforms. And I am continuing to write and partner with some really great producers and musicians. And I'm looking forward to in the next couple months doing a live recording.
That's lovely.
And I want to do some touring very soon after that live recording and music is out. So I feel like this fire has been lit under me for as an artist, as a musician. So I'm really excited about the future and all the doors that have opened. And being able to connect with people. I've connected with
That's
so
love.
many
That's one of the
people.
biggest, I think, rewards that you
Yeah.
have taken up with yourself. You have a whole community of people who have been associated with you throughout the show and who are your fans, like truly your fans reaching out to you on social media and other places. That must have been lovely.
It has been. I've gotten a lot of good, like people will message me. They know that I have done therapy, so people have asked me like
Hmm.
personal questions and asking for help. Like people now have access to you, and
Hmm.
it's really interesting because they watch your journey, they see like pictures of your family, they see you in like personal life, and so they feel like they know you. Um, and so I've had people reach out to me on a very personal level, and I love it. I love being able to be with people, and yeah, and they have. It's hard for me to say that I have fans, but I mean, I guess so.
Oh, yeah, you do. You do. You definitely do.
Yeah.
So, can we expect some new jingles coming up for Christmas this year?
Oh, no, that would be. I don't know about Christmas jingles, but we'll see. I one of the latest that I've written, it became a song. I wrote this sort of like jingle to my
Hmm.
husband.
That's
Because I write for all these other folks. I was like, let me write something for him. And so I wrote
wow.
it.
That's really sweet.
It's called Jason's Song. You can check that out too. And there's other music I have out there. But yeah, we'll see where that jingle writing takes me.
That's really sweet. And Tanika, it's been such a delight having this conversation with you and learning about all like the entire journey, how you started being a singer and how your entire experience has been, and how you interact with your family, your faith, with your religion and everything. That was really lovely having this talk with you. And I wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. And I am out here really waiting for all the lovely songs that you put out there for your
Thanks so
fans.
much. Thank you.
That's okay. So see you. Bye.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.